Oh, hi, New Cov. Hey, so we're looking at Ephesians chapter 2, verses 1 through 10 today. I pray that you'll take some time to be able to read through the passage and just allow your thoughts to linger. Maybe you'll journal a little bit. But there were 5 things that really stuck out to me as I went through. The first is to be able to remembering what God has done in my life. It starts out talking about how we were dead in our transgressions. So who were you before Jesus entered the picture? What things were you pursuing to try to find fulfillment? And then to be able to look at the fulfillment that Jesus has brought to your life. I love seeing, and this is a second part, seeing that God's love for us came even when we were still sinners, when we were dead in our transgressions, when we were pursuing those things that were filled with emptiness. And so that is so great to be able to spend some time just thinking about God's love not being dependent on our action. Third is the idea that we have a secure place, a secure seat with Jesus. So to spend some time today, maybe resting in the riches that God offers us through His grace and His kindness. The fourth thing that I'd like for you to be able to take away today is in verses 8 and 9. This is real foundational. Maybe you'd write this verse down somewhere and look at it throughout the day. Great verse or passage to be able to memorize. But I want you to get this. In verse 8 it says, "For it is by grace that you have been saved through faith." Not on your own works. It's nothing that you've done to be able to attain salvation, and nothing for you to boast about. You are just thankful and boasting in what Jesus has done, even when we were dead in our transgressions, right? The last thing that I want us to be able to take away is in verse 10, and it's the idea that Jesus has purpose for us. God created us with intention. We are His workmanship, it says, designed for God's purposes. So it's so good. Maybe there are some things that you need to spend some time thinking about this morning in terms of your own view of yourself. Sometimes we spend time thinking about the things that we don't like about ourselves or where we fall short. But to begin to get the correct view that God has created you with purpose and intention. You're His workmanship. So when you're knocking yourself down, then you are knocking down what He has created in you. Which, it might also be good to spend some time thinking about others around you. That's true for them as well. So we want to be mindful in how we treat others and how we see others in our lives as we interact with them today and in the days following. You know, during our mission trips, there was one activity that we did where we tried to have the high school students, myself included, to imagine that every person that we come across has a number 10 just stamped on their forehead. And that was there to remind us that they were created perfectly in God's image. And so that we would treat them as though they were, in fact, God's workmanship. So I pray that today, as you read this passage, as you spend some time with God, I pray that God would draw you near to Himself. So I pray that this would be an awesome day for you, and thanks for watching.